And I'll show you some options for child's pose because sometimes it can be a little tricky to get comfortable in this posture. So if your knees are tender at all, definitely spread something very soft beneath them. And you can put your toes together, your big toes together, and widen your knees if you wish. And then you can let your body come forward. And so a couple options here. If it feels too intense on your hips to have them parted, you can have your legs together. And if your shoulders aren't enjoying that open feeling of stretching forward, you can also just be in like a little fetal ball like this. That might then make it difficult for your head to reach the ground. So you can also put a pillow or a block to rest your forehead on if that's a challenge. Just make sure that you leave yourself a spot for breathing. And if being on the knees doesn't work at all for you, you can also do a different beginning posture like waterfall, where you are on your back with your feet up against a chair, a couch, a wall. So essentially, listen to your body and find a comfy place to start. Child's pose is not a pose of sukha or ease, but it is a very restorative pose. And listen to how your body feels today. Welcome, Patty and Karen. We're just getting settled. No rushing, no hurrying. And we're starting at one option for beginning is to be in child's pose or waterfall pose. Today's practice is going to be in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It will be a practice inviting grace, love, and light into our bodies and hearts. And so we'll start with inviting 3 sounds of the bell. And just inviting the bell to wake up, for it too has been sleeping. Hearing the bell, listen, listen. This wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. Notice your breath and imagine the beautiful bell, the energy from the bell flowing through your body. And you may notice that pets are drawn to you as you are on the mat. This is a sign of the beautiful energy that the pets are feeling from your physical body. And let yourself melt and feel the earth touching wherever your body is meeting and greeting the ground beneath you. We'll start with a quote to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Let light and love wash over your back and through the crown of your head and emanate from your heart center and the tops of your feet. And as you're here in this restorative posture, see if you can set your own intention for today's practice. Something very simple. A phrase or statement. It can be even one word. Let the intention come to you versus seeking it. And when you're ready, see if you can gently start to come to a comfortably seated posture with grace. So we're going to practice moving with grace today and letting go of the goal of where we're going to be, where we're going to end up, and practicing more our movement of getting there, the journey. Today's affirmation is, in my heart, there is light and love. In my heart, there is light and love for each of you, for myself, for each of your family and friends, and then for each of their family and friends, and so on, until all 8 billion people are included in our light and love. And we'll start with a mudra today called Kali Mudra. Kali is a very powerful goddess in the Hindu tradition. She's the goddess of destruction as well as transformation. And so it fits today to evoke her power to transform darkness into lightness. And to make Kali Mudra, I'll come a little bit closer so you can see this, but we'll start with letting our hands clasp except for the pointer fingers. The pointer fingers can come up and meet. And then you can let the left thumb come over the right thumb and cross behind you. So you're making a pointer here. Use this mudra to embrace your own strength and power and to release tension and negativity. So let's start with elongating our spine and maybe closing our eyes. And scan your body and find where there's tension, and you can bring Kali Mudra there. Let your shoulders relax. Let the muscles around your eyes relax. And notice how your body feels. And breathe into the transforming power of Kali Mudra. And now let this mudra come up to the sky where the source of light is, the sun, and open your mudra and let the light flow outwards. And we'll bring that mudra back later in our practice. And next, we're going to do an equal parts breath. It has 4 parts, and each of the 4 parts we will try to do to the count of 4. Samavriti pranayama, equal part breath, 4 parts and count of 4. This mudra is good for quieting the mind and creating pranic harmony, so an energetic harmony throughout your body. And I share these different ideas and practices with you, and then you can try them on your own if you feel like they were helpful. Samavriti. So let's start with just pausing for a moment and letting your own natural breath rhythm flow. Nothing forced. Just letting the breath flow through you. Awareness of your in-breath and awareness of your out-breath. So this 4-part breath will be an inhale and a retain at the top of the inhale, and then an exhale and a suspension at the bottom of the exhale. And some people like to think about a square for the 4 parts. You can do that if you wish. And if 4 is too long of a count, you can use any count that works for you. But I'll start with the 4-part inhale. So inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And retain at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. And suspend breath at the bottom of the square. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that again. Inhaling to 4. Retain for 4. Exhale for 4. Suspend for 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. And suspend. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let yourself practice Samavriti for another minute or so. And think about what is showing up for you on this special day. And wherever you are in your pranayama breath, finish out your samavriti. And then come with grace to tabletop position. You can keep the blanket that you might have had for your child's pose. You can keep that under your knees. In tabletop, your knees are stacked under your hips. Your feet are flat to the back of the ground, and you might want to tap them a little bit to make that grounding or earthing connection. Open your finger pads nice and wide. Your wrists will be under your elbows, under your shoulders, and now push up through the shoulders and push down through the palms to lengthen and open. And let your belly sink. With your inhale, your chin slightly comes up, and then exhaling to cat, rounding your spine and tucking your chin in. And if you enjoyed the equal part breath, you can even introduce it here. So inhaling and dropping the belly, 1, 2, 3, 4, pausing, and then exhaling to the count of 4, and rounding the spine, and pausing at the top of your cat. Notice how your body feels as you move to the rhythm of whatever it works best for you. Moving with grace. And feeling light and love as your heart center opens with your inhale. And letting go of all darkness as your spine rounds. And if you wish, you can combine the cat and cow with child's pose. So maybe the next time you round your spine, you start to lean back into child. And your pause becomes balasana. And then as you lean forward with your inhale, you start to introduce a little kinetic movement with your child and your cat-cow. And see if you can move with grace. Not worrying about how your physical form looks, but more thinking about how does it feel. And giving yourself the grace to pause anywhere that you need. So maybe you just need to stay in child for a moment. This is your practice. Honor your body and what it needs. And the next time we come forward, we're going to come gently onto our bellies. And I recommend keeping the blanket beneath your hips for a little extra comfort. And we're going to introduce a variation of cobra that's a little different than what we normally do. So if you're on your belly, You might have brought your head all the way down into crocodile, and it might feel good just to rest there and feel your whole body melting into the earth. And if you'd like to play with a little bit of cobra movement, you can bring your hands out further away from your practice area and then tent your hands up. And with our inhale, we're going to rise up just slightly. And you'll feel this all along your lower spine. Careful not to strain your chin. And maybe you pause at the top, like we did with Samavriti. And then lowering down. And maybe you pause at the bottom. Relax any tension in your shoulders, your neck, your forehead, the muscles around your eyes. And with your inhale, rise up, Bhujangasana, Cobra, and then let yourself melt down. Feeling free to pause at the bottom or pause at the top, or to stay in motion. Inhaling, filling with love and light, and exhaling. Very, very nice. And continue that for a moment. Or maybe you wish to rest again in crocodile. Ask your body, what does it need? And if you have socks on, bring your heels up to your hands and take your socks off so that we're not slip sliding around as we come to our standing postures. And now take a moment to move that blanket out of the way and create your mat space. Although you might just be on the carpet, you don't need a mat. And we're going to return to table, but tuck your toes under, because get ready. If you wish, you can press up to downward dog. Come up slowly and pedal your heels. And if your shoulders are really tender, you can do this on the wall as well, so you don't have to be in such a hard downward dog position. You can do this on the wall and get a lot of benefit, or you can even use the back of a chair. Stretch out your heels and feel free to come down to child or down to your knees at any time. We won't stay here too long. Raise your right leg up to the sky and press the heel of your left foot down. And now bring your right knee in towards your chest and let your leg find the earth in half pigeon. Your body may want to start to collapse over to the right. So see if you can orient yourself to be facing forward and have your hips aligned to your chin. And one good thing to do here, if you feel that collapsing, is you can tuck a set of books, although they can be a little slippery, or a pillow or a rolled up blanket under your right buttocks. And if you feel any pain here, Then come back to a restorative pose that feels good to your body. Our hips hold a lot of emotion, and there should be no pain in yoga. So if you feel pain in the knee or the hip or anywhere else, then do come out of this posture, this asana, with lots of grace, and find something that feels better to your body. One example would be if you want to stretch the hips, but that's not accessible, you can come to your back and do figure 4. And you'll still get a really nice, yummy hip stretch, but without the pressure on the knees. Half pigeon, breathing and holding, a little bit of yin work here. And some variations in pigeon. You can come forward to your forearms, and you can also come all the way down where your head is on the ground or on a block. Breathing into the sensation in your body. And if it feels good to have your chest center, your heart open, be upwards. You can also raise your left knee and take the inner part of your left foot in your left hand and create a little dancer. But wherever you are, start to gently, with grace, unwind and bring your right foot back to the sky. So you're in a tripod, 3-legged dog. Right foot is up, and open the hip and just circle the knee slightly, or the foot in one direction and then the other. And then gently, with grace, place your right foot down to the ground. One deep inhale, and exhale, press the heels down. And now raise your left leg up to the sky. Deep inhale, press down through the right heel, and bring your left knee in towards your chest. And now let your left foot find the ground and settle into half pigeon on the left side. Reorient your hips so that they're pointing forwards. And move your tongue around inside of your mouth to release your jaws. Breathe into the sensation in your hips. If your wrists are getting a little tender, tuck your hands under. And remember, you can come forward onto your forearms. You can elongate your hands and come all the way down. Or you can stay upwards. even if you wish to try dancer, taking the right foot in the right hand, the inner sole of the foot, the arch, and breathing into your dancer. Noticing the emotion in the hips and loving it with tenderness. I want to check to ensure that the audio is still okay Can you still hear me? Good, okay. I lost my earpiece for a moment. So wherever you are, start to come up and push back up to downward dog. Remember, honor your body. This is a lot. And bring your left foot up to the sky. Press your right heel down and open the left hip and circle just gently. You can do this all from standing, using a chair, or maybe you returned to crocodile or waterfall or child's pose. And bring the right foot down, the left foot down to the ground, and crisscross your legs gently and with grace until you come to a standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Knees are generously bent and your chest is resting on your thighs. Your hands might be clasping elbows, or they might be touching the ground. And start to widen your feet a little bit. Bring your hands to your fronts of your shins and let your hands massage up your shins until they find your knees. And now scoop your back to come up very, very, very slowly. We're going to do a little variation on Tadasana, and we're going to try Samastiti, which is, again, using that word equal. So equal weight in our feet. Our feet are a little wider than hip width. And bring your hands to your heart center. Roll your shoulders up and down. Soften your gaze. And really notice all the corners of your feet. The outer blades, where your toes touch the ground, your heels. See if you can bring your breath to the strength in your feet. And release your hands from prayer, bring them by your sides. And we're going to do a little practicing with intention of really feeling grace in the strength and power of our feet that hold us up, that will bring us forward in life. So we're going to, you can bring your feet wherever they feel now very natural and comfortable. And focus on your heart center being open and we're going to do a very intentional exercise, which is like creating a circle with our feet. It's going to be such a subtle movement. We'll do this with grace. So we're going to start with bringing our weight primarily to our right foot. Left foot is still touching the ground, but feel all of the weight of your body start to strengthen in your right foot. And now roll slightly forward so that you feel the weight of your body in your toes. And now to the outer blade of the right foot. And roll your weight to the heel of the right foot. And now over to the heel of the left foot. So feel the weight of your body shift consciously with grace to the left heel. And now to the left blade, the outer left blade of the left foot, and to the toes of the left foot. And now return to center. And notice your earth connection through the ground, through your feet. Maybe wiggle your toes up and down. And now bring your attention and your weight over to your left foot. And start to roll your weight to the toes on your left foot and over to the outer blade of the left foot. And you already want to do it. You want to roll to the heel of the left foot. Deep, slow breaths. And now over to the heel of the right foot. Feeling the grace as you lean your weight to the outer blade of the right foot and to the right toes. And now return to all four corners of both feet. Deep, nourishing breaths. Notice how you feel. Wiggle your toes to release any tension that you might be storing now in your feet. And wiggle out your knees. And roll out your hips in any circular movement that feels good. And now see if you can roll your torso, doing some kind of very odd movement that will make you smile. And wiggle out your shoulders. And shake out your hands. And let your neck move very gently. And now just wiggle your body in any absolutely non-graceful way. You'll know you're doing it right when you start to giggle at yourself. And you just you cannot resist smiling about the way your silly body looks right now. Let go of all attachment to perfection and form. And we'll just open up our side bodies a little bit. So reach your right hand up to the sky. Deep breath. And now your left hand up to the sky. Deep breath. And take your left wrist in your right hand and start to lean over to the left and maybe tuck your right foot behind. So you're making a little bit of a banana shape with your whole body and reach up through your fingers. Feel the opening in the right side body. Breathe here and come back to center, unwinding our feet and bringing our arms down. Now raise your left hand to the sky, deep breath. And your right hand to the sky, deep breath. And grasp your right wrist with your left hand. And tuck your left leg behind your right and banana, lean over to the right. Maybe you let the side of your head just rest gently on your right arm. Open and breathe. And unwind all of that. We'll do a balancing pose. You may wish to have the wall nearby. When I think of grace and gracefulness, I think of dancing. So we'll bring our right knee up, and again, you might want to be holding on to something. And then if you wish, feel that rooting through the left leg. You can reach for the inside of your right foot with your right hand. And this might be enough. Open your heart center. Or maybe you wish to release tension in the left leg and start to hinge forward, making a dancer pose. You need to be looking at a drishti or a focal point. And if you raise your left arm, this can help with balance. Feel the wobble. Breathe and extend. Left leg can be bent. Make your beautiful dancer. And then gently and gracefully unwind and have your right knee come back up. And then come back down to the ground, and we'll repeat this on the other side. So let your weight settle into your right foot. And let your left leg come up. You can just stay here and balance here. This is a wonderful balancing pose. But if you wish, start to draw your left knee back and down. Open your chest. Tuck your knee in towards your right leg. And you can start to make your dancer. Now on the left side. So maybe starting to hinge forward, bending right knee and elongating left leg, and reaching out with the opposite hand. Soften your gaze and set your focus, your intention. Breathe here in your dancer. Embracing the wobble. Holding on for support when needed. And come out of the posture with as much grace as possible, lifting your left knee and then letting your left knee come to the ground. And we'll do a half sun salutation, moving with grace. Come to the front of wherever your mat or your practice space is. Ground your feet, shoulders back and down, hands are open, and sweep up, inhaling love and light, flowing forward with grace. Exhaling, letting your hands ground to the earth and flowing up to halfway lift. Deep inhale and fold. Rising back up and reaching up for the sky, slight back bend. Hands come to heart center. And sweeping down, breathing in love and light, flowing forwards, all the way down to the ground. Halfway lift, inhaling and exhaling, releasing everything. Flowing up, slight back bend, and hands come to heart center. Inhale, reach up and flow forward, half sun. Halfway lift and flow down. Inhaling up. Hands come back down to heart center. And notice how you feel. What is your deepest heart's longing? And open your eyes and come to a standing, open-legged stance. And let's find our Kali Mudra once again. So clasp your hands together with the pinky, ring finger, and middle finger folding down, pointer finger pointing up, left thumb crossed over right thumb. And we're going to Skandasana flow into the right side, so bending our knee and letting the hamstring and inner groin stretch on the left side. And then rising Kali Mudra up and bending Skandasana over to the left side and up. Transformation with Kali Mudra. Cutting down through hatred and darkness. And bringing light and love as you reach up. Moving with grace and honoring all of the great teachers. The Dalai Lama, Desmond Tutu, Thich Nhat Hanh, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, all the poets, all the unnamed, beautiful people that bring the love and light. And breathe in for yourself and pause at the top. And then let your light and love flow outwards. And heel toe your feet inwards as you come down to to Malasana. This is a wonderful grounding pose. And maybe for your body, you're up like a little froggy, with your heels up, and maybe your heels just naturally are finding the earth, but wherever they are, see if you can press your hips wide. And feel the earth supporting you. Without judgment, it is receiving all of the emotions that flow through you as you open your hips. The earth receives this through your heels, through the pads of your feet. Listen to your body and notice how you feel. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. says, you only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. Let the grace in, let the light in, let in the love. And bring your hands behind your back. And if you took off your socks for our standing practice and place them back on your feet, and place your feet to the ground and let your upper body start to roll down, tucking your chin, taking your time to find the earth until your lower spine meets the earth. And slow yourself down with your hands upon your body until finally your head meets the earth. Now bring your knees into your chest and your hands right below your kneecaps and open and roll any tension in your lower back. Enjoying the equilibrium through this restorative practice and the way that you honor your body, how you nourish your body. Now let your knees come together and create that rolling motion in a circular way, really feeling all the places in the lower back that need a little massage. Maybe you're rolling a little from side to side and making sure you do the circle in the other direction. Breathing into the lower back and coming to stillness. If you can, reach for your opposite elbows above your shins and flatten the back of your head and press your lower spine to the ground. Loving what your body can do for you. Close your eyes for a moment and remember your intention. And now open your arms to T or cactus and let your legs come over to the right in supine spinal twist. And maybe your head rolls to the left. Press your shoulders down to the ground. Breathe deeply. Scan your body and ask yourself, where can I soften? And let your knees come back to the center and fold over to the left. And then maybe your head leans to the right. And now let your knees come back to the center and gather any items of comfort for Shavasana. So maybe some pillows beneath your knees and a blanket to cover your body. And the blanket doesn't just have to be for warmth. You can also fold the blanket and create a little bit of weight over your belly. This will enable the lower back to release. Find your comfortable Shavasana. That could even be waterfall pose with your legs up, if that feels better to you. Scan your body and notice how you feel. And I'll share with you a poem by Mary Oliver. Called The Gardener. Have I lived enough? Have I loved enough? Have I considered right action enough? Have I come to any conclusion? Have I experienced happiness with sufficient gratitude? Have I endured loneliness with grace? I say this, or perhaps I'm just thinking it. Actually, I probably think too much. Then I step out into the garden where the gardener, who's said to be a simple man, is tending his children, the roses. And as you lay here, imagine the grace and love and light, the rose that is your body that you tend to. And start to gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And roll to one side. And when you're ready, come up to a gentle seated position, slowly and with grace. And I'll close out our beautiful practice together with 2 sounds of the bell. And I thank you for sharing this practice together in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. May you have a lovely day. Namaste.